Hi everybody, welcome back to Paint Along Kids. My name is Liv and today I'm going to be showing you how to paint this super sparkly, vibrant earth for Earth Day because Earth Day is coming up. So if you would like to see how to paint this, then keep watching. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to do is that you're going to have a plate. So you want a small plate if you have a small canvas. If you have a bigger canvas, then by all means use a big plate. But mine is kind of small, so I'm using this dessert plate. It's not very big. It's about the size of my hand. And one thing that's important is that your plate is hard plastic or a glass plate. If you're using one of your parents' glass plates, please ask their permission and make sure that you wash it directly after you're done. But yeah, I'm using this hard plate. You don't want to use a flimsy plate for your print because it's not going to work as well. I've tested it and it really doesn't work that well. So you really want this hard surface. So another thing is that I've already painted my canvas black for the space behind Earth. So go ahead and to start off, you're going to paint your canvas black. You can also do it dark blue, whatever you want. It's your painting. And yeah, so I've taped this down because that helps whenever you pull your print off. So your canvas doesn't just roll around and get in the way and then it makes a mess. So definitely tape it down and I am going to start. So this shape of the back of the plate, this perfect circle is what we're using. So I'm gonna start by putting blue all over the back of my plate. You can just put the paint directly onto the paper plate. And then very carefully, I want you to smush it around and go to the edges. You wanna go right to that outer edge of the plate to get that circle. So make sure that you have a thick layer of paint all the way to the outer layer. My paint's kind of gloopy in places, so I'm just gonna remove those. This is old paint. Sometimes acrylic paint does this. Okay, yeah, so taking our paint and just going around, making it go to that outer circle. You don't wanna go beyond the outer circle. You don't wanna go down on the sides, just to the edge. It's okay if some drips down, just grab a paper towel and you can wipe the sides. So make sure you have lots of paint and there's no plate showing through. You want it to be completely blue. I'm gonna add a little more because I really want my earth to pop and we don't wanna have pieces of red paint showing through because that's where there won't be paint and then it will just look black once we print it onto our canvas. So here we go. Good stuff, good stuff. Make sure you're going all the way to that outer edge. That's important because if we don't have it to the outer edge, our earth won't look round whenever we print it. That's why we're using this plate as a template. Okay, all the way around. There we go, right to the edge. All right, that's good enough. So I'm gonna rinse my brush, nice and clean, dry it off. And this is where things start to get fun. So we're gonna add our land. And this is where I have lots of fun. When I do it with kids, I go through all the different places. So Canada, USA, South America, Cuba, Iceland, Europe, Scandinavia, I should say, down to Europe, Africa's in there, Australia, New Zealand, and yeah, you can add little islands and stuff wherever you want. You don't have to do it like this. I just think it's funny and fun to make all the different places show up. So taking your paintbrush, you can kind of just shape that green around that land the way you want it to look. Shape that green. Doesn't have to look like mine. However you see fit. And there we go. I might add a little island here. Pick up some of my paint, add an island there. Hawaii somewhere over here. No, up here. Just mix green and blue and it will look like an earth, I promise. So Once that's done, you want that to be pretty thick as well, like you want it to lay on top of the blue. Rinse your brush. And I want you to take some white. This is optional, but I think that this just really brings it all together. And put a little drizzle of white up there for the Arctic. And here is for the South Pole. So North Pole, South Pole, because that's where all the ice and snow is. So taking your brush, I want you to push that out to the edge gently to show that that's the top of Earth, it's the North Pole. And then here at the bottom, same thing, switch it to the bottom because that is the South Pole. There we go. So when you have that done, rinse your brush. If you wanted to add like white clouds in Earth, you can as well. I think that's too complicated for me right now. I'm gonna just move a little more blue over here where I see I need a little more coverage. So you really want it to stamp nicely. Okay, so rinse your brush, put that to the side. Whew, and here's the part where you have to be careful. So I want you to lift it with both hands. Both hands is important on the sides. We're going to flip it however you want it. You want your North and your South Pole to be on top and bottom of wherever you want your canvas. So if you want your canvas to go vertical, like long, you can do it this way. If you want it to go horizontal like me, make sure that your South and North Pole are pointing towards the top and bottom, if that made sense. Okay, now that we have our Earth, you're going to flip it fast with both hands, put it in the middle, and we're gonna rest it. And then I just want you to take your fingers ever so gently and push down. You don't wanna jiggle it around too much because that will just make it all smushy. You're just making sure that you got the paint down. And then you can take both sides and while pressing, just do a little jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Same with the top and the bottom. Press, tiny jiggles, just side and back, side and back. You don't want to move it around a bunch. We're just jiggling. And then if we did it right and we pull up, so this is why we taped down the canvas, because when we pull it up, we don't want the canvas to come with. So if you don't have tape, you can have a friend or an adult hold down the sides while you pull it up, but tape works well if you're alone. So here we go. Boop. Wow, so cool. Every time I do this, it's just fun because you never know how it's gonna turn out and it's always awesome. So we're going, if you have little pieces like I do where there's not enough paint that transferred, that's where you can go back in. You can use some of the paint from your plate that didn't get transferred. Just touch it up. Just touch it up here and there where you feel like it could use a little more blue or green. And everyone's Earth is gonna look totally different. Gonna have different textures and different places where it's smushed differently, and that's super cool in my opinion. So if yours doesn't look like mine, not a worry. Everyone's Earth is gonna be different. You can just kind of shape it how you want, and I'm pretty happy with that. I think I'm just gonna touch up the South Pole right there, and then good to go. I'm happy with that. So you can take your time and you can perfect it, make it perfectly circle or however you feel, whatever you think. But just for the sake of keeping this video short and sweet, I think that I'm happy with where I have it. So I'm going to leave it like that. I'm gonna rinse my brush, put my plate to the side. And now we're gonna do our stars. So stars, I know everyone draws stars as yellow. They can have a yellow tinge, but they're really more white. And did you know that stars are actually just burning little balls in space. Stars are burning balls in space. They're just like little stars that have exploded and you're seeing them. And they're so far away, and sometimes they glow red, sometimes they glow blue, sometimes they glow white. It's pretty cool. So I'm mixing yellow and white just so that I don't have bright, bright yellow stars. If you want bright, bright yellow stars and you think that that's the way that you want it to be, go for it. This is your painting. But I like when they look just a little more white. So I have a light, light yellow, and I'm just gonna go around the entire painting and I'm gonna do little stars everywhere. And you know what? I've done this painting with other children and it's really cool how they do their stars. One child did like a whole like galaxy, another kid did like a little like system of like the signs, like Leo stars and stuff. It was pretty cool. So do your stars however you want. And I'm probably gonna speed up the rest of my star making because it's gonna take me a little while to get all my stars where I want them. But I will talk to you soon after I have all my stars laid out. All right, guys, so you can see that I went back and I added tiny little stars in different places. You don't have to do as many as me. You can do more than me. You can do shooting stars, whatever you want. But this is just where I'm gonna stop, just for the time's sake of this video. I don't want it to be too long. So I'm gonna rinse my brush and we're gonna let this dry completely. And then I'm gonna show you how you can add extra pizzazz to this. But if you don't want to add any glitter, which is what we're going to be doing next, then you can leave it like this because this is cool as it is. I think it's awesome. But if you want to make it sparkly and extra sparkly and just give it that extra something, then let's let this dry completely and then I'll meet you back and we will do that together. See you soon. All right, guys, so we are going to add glitter to our earth, and this is really gonna make this earth just pop and sparkle. So you're gonna need green glitter. I have just loose green glitter I got at the dollar store, and you're gonna need glue. I think clear glue is best, just in case you don't get any places, then it will shine through and still be green. There's also the option to get already mixed glitter glue at a craft store. My local dollar store didn't have it, so to keep it dollar store appropriate or dollar store themed, we're going to stick with the glitter and the glue. So to do that, make sure your earth is completely dry. It might take a while, especially because we used a really thick layer of paint, but it's definitely worth it because otherwise it's going to just get everywhere. So I'm just gonna apply the glue over some green and I'm gonna take my paintbrush to spread it out. You can put the glue on a plate and apply it with a brush, like if you want, if you find that easier, then go for it. I just feel like this is the easiest way for me to do it. So, have my glue. I'm just gonna take a clean brush and ever so gently, I'm just gonna move it around. And my paint, you might notice, is moving a little bit. That's because I didn't let it dry all the way, which isn't what I was supposed to do, but I was running out of time. So in order to finish this video, I had to go ahead and do it when it was still a little wet. You're gonna wanna let yours dry completely. Trust me, it's gonna be a lot easier. So just make sure that we get that glue out where we want it on our green bits. Just gently move it around. If you wanted to go super sparkly, you could add like yellow or white sparkles to the stars. Really, you could do whatever you want, guys. You could do the opposite. You could do blue sparkles over the oceans on the earth instead of over the green. This is just my idea. So interpret it however you think it's gonna look best on your earth. And if you do it, I would love to see it, like always, so send it to me. Have your parents send it to me on Facebook or Instagram. I would love to see it. All right, so I think I'm pretty happy with that. My green areas. So just make sure I got it all where I want it. Good. So I'm gonna rinse my brush. Oh, see a little here I wanna fix. Okay, I'm gonna rinse my brush from the glue give it a good dry and put it to the side. We're gonna move on to glitter. So what I like to do with glitter is put it in my hand first and then pinch it on. I just find it's less messy and it gives you more control over where you want your glitter to go. So we're gonna just put that glitter over the glue all over our green bits to make our land sparkly shiny, kind of like the sun is shining on the earth and all the luscious green planets are shining back. Planets. All the luscious green plants are shining back because the green parts of earth are where there's land. So where we're living right now on the land, that's where it's green. And where there's blue is the ocean, and these white bits, like we said earlier, are the Arctics, the North and the South Pole. All right, so I'm going to take this. I have all my glitter. Ooh, sparkly hands. And I'm gonna take it. And you're probably gonna want a bigger plate than this, but I'm just gonna tap off whatever glitter didn't need to stick. And there we have our sparkly earth. You can kind of add different things if you want. You could go in and you could add clouds over it. Like I said, you could do shooting stars. Really, whatever you guys think. I mean, it's awesome, but you can make it your own, and I can't wait to see what you come up with. All right, boys and girls, so this is how my earth turned out. It's upside down, give me a second. This is how my earth turned out. It's super sparkly, super vibrant. I love it. I think it's so fun, and I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. So if you make this, please send it to me, and I hope everyone has a happy Earth Day. And remember, we only get one planet. Let's treat it nice and keep it clean and nice to the animals who live on it. And yeah, I'll see you at the next video. Bye, everybody.